Well, we made it back safe and sound from Mexico, and not without some problems. When we were getting ready to leave Mexico, we had to wait around because our flight to Dallas was delayed 30-40 minutes. Finally got on the plane, and the pilot put the hammer down and just about made up all the time. However, when we got to Dallas, as you can see from the video, Dallas passport. Now running late, and we also got to go through customs. We got to Dallas. There was a mad rush to the. First, you got to go through their passport, and then you go to baggage claim. We actually had to check a bag because we brought back 3 bottles of tequila, and we had to put it in our checked luggage. Going, we simply took our carry-ons. We didn't have to go through checked baggage. But in Dallas, first port of entry into the United States, we had to go to get our checked bag out, run it through security again, and then put it back on. Well, we thought we had enough time. Got to Dallas. First stop was passport, and as you can see, there were several hundred, if not 1,000 people at the passport checkpoint. And then they had several lines open. Kind of reminded me of a Walmart checkout, where they have all these checkout lines and nobody's standing there to help anybody. Well, they had all these several hundred people trying to get through to make their connections, and they only had one TSA officer at a booth to check all these people in. We had plenty of time to make our connection from Dallas to Colombia, but by the time we made it through passport, our flight had left. We rushed from there, running through the airport with our bag after we had gone and got it, to go through the baggage security again. We found the place to put our checked luggage, and then we ran from there to the gate, and it was closed. The plane was still sitting on the tarmac, but there was no way we could get on the flight. So we went down to American Airlines ticket booth to rebook our flights, and after standing in line there for 35-40 minutes behind a bunch of irate passengers who had missed their connections because of the TSA lack of care, the ticket agent said the next flight to Colombia was the day after Christmas. So she looked at alternatives. The closest alternative was to fly into Charlotte, which was leaving at 8 o'clock, and hell, this was already almost 7. So we took that flight to Charlotte. We get down to the gate in time, but that flight was delayed also, which was okay. Okay, we missed our flight out of Dallas to Colombia. So now we are, now the flight to Charlotte is delayed. So now we're having to fly to Charlotte. There are no hotels, no rental cars available. We're going to Charlotte, and we don't know what we're going to do when we get to Charlotte. We're boarding in about 15 minutes. Kathy's very happy. Man, I've never seen such a fiasco. How about you, Eric? Have you ever seen such a fiasco? Well, we made the flight to Charlotte, and then we get to Charlotte. We don't know what we're going to do. No rental cars. Even though the rental booths were still open at after midnight, some of them Enterprise was open till 2 a.m. Enterprise told us they had cars, but they didn't allow us to turn them in at any other location. If we drove to Columbia, we'd have to drive back to Charlotte to turn the car in. That's not going to work. Hertz all the other rental agencies had none, and in addition to that, they had several people standing in line. So I went out to where the taxi cabs were and found a Pakistani who I talked into. First he wanted $300 to take us to Columbia, and then I talked him down to $260. So I got Kathy and Eric out of the rental car agency line and said, let's go. And we headed off with this Pakistani driver to Columbia for an hour and a half, 2-hour ride to Columbia. We were quite grateful for that, even though I got him started talking about his religion and all this other stuff, and it was quite interesting. But Kathy tried to lay down in the back seat. It was a minivan, and she discovered real quick that she didn't want to be laying down in there. It was kind of a mess, to say lightly, a grungy mess. But anyway, we make it to Columbia, and then we go in, and it's about I'm guessing by now close to 3 a.m. and the ticket agent told us in Dallas that our checked luggage should be in Columbia when we got to Columbia. So we went to try to find our luggage, and everything's closed. We found a security officer, and he said that American Airlines ticket baggage people would show up at 3:45 a.m. Of course, we decided we would wait around. Well, we went to nobody downstairs where baggage claim was. So we went to the ticket office, and Kathy stood in line there. Got to the front of the line before anybody started showing up. People started showing up for flights. There was no American Airlines people. Their website said that they open at 4:15. 4:45. A couple of women show up very nonchalantly. People standing in line had to check their luggage and get on their planes from Columbia to wherever they were going, and they were getting very antsy. And plus, we were pretty antsy too after staying up almost all night. The ticket agent, they got a gentleman who was very, very nice, and Kathy worked with him, gave him the ticket claim ticket, and the lost luggage claim ticket, and he did a search, finally found something, said the bag was still in Dallas and that they would bring us the bag the next day. So we came on home, got here a little bit after 6 a.m. Saturday morning, I guess Sunday morning. I don't know what day it is, but anyway, it's been 2 days since then. Finally, 2 days later, they arrive at 2:30 a.m. last night. I go out to the gate, and they called us, and I met the lady with the car who was out delivering lost luggage, and picked up our lost baggage. The tequila, 3 bottles of tequila were still in there, which just surprised me. So, all in all, we had a real fun time, except on the trip home. All I got to say is that our government employees don't care about anything. I know we've had problems with our local post office, the local distribution center in Augusta, where we get all our mail comes through. 100 employees went on strike, informal strike. They didn't call it a strike, but they didn't show up for several days, and we were waiting on mail, and it didn't come. I had some 2-day guarantees that came over 2 weeks later, and our local postmaster lady told us it was because of the people in Augusta. They could care less. They didn't even show up for work. We had the same problem with our security officers at TSA. they walking around. There were six, I don't know whether six of them. There were several of them walking around, prancing around, doing nothing. And one of them did come out to preach to us about when we showed up at the passport line, just had the passport, don't have boarding passes and all that stuff. Very arrogant. I felt like telling the woman, why didn't she get behind one of the booths and start checking people in? But I was too far back in the queue to get up there. Quite frustrating when you're totally helpless and you miss your connection. Then you have to stay up all night and you have to wait 2-3 days to get your luggage and pay a bunch of money to go from Charlotte to Columbia. Then we had to drive from Columbia here after we got our car and so forth. But we made it home. All in all, it was a good trip. We had to get a COVID test in Mexico. They did that at the resort, Paradise Village. It was about $50 a test, so about $150. 24 hours. They emailed the results to us pretty quick, and we were all negative, of course. But you have to have that before you can board the flight in Mexico to come to the United States, which was a joke. Same thing with wearing masks everywhere we went. Mexico was real particular about wearing masks, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that, but when you're fully vaccinated plus booster shots and everything else, you tested negative over and over, and you get there and the bars and the restaurants go paranoid if you walk in with no mask. By the time you get in and sit down, everybody's sitting around and everybody pulls their mask off and they start drinking and eating. And same thing on the airline. You have to wear a mask the whole way there, but when they bring you a drink, you can take your mask off, sit there and drink it as long as you want. They're not going to say anything to you, or eat whatever pretzels and cookies or whatever they bring you. You can sit there and take your time for half the flight. Nobody's going to say anything so long as it looks like you're eating or drinking. Big joke, but it's conformity. So we're back home free. We are going to be taking a trip to Florida, leaving right after Christmas. I think we're leaving December 28th for over a month. The highlights of that trip will be we're going to spend some time in Key West. Kathy's going to get her cheeseburger in Paradise that she didn't get the last time we went there. And then we're going to the Everglades, going to take an airboat ride. And in between, we're going to be stopping at other places. Kathy has a whole list of stuff. She's quite a travel planner. But that's it. And then the third high point will be the Tampa RV show, which is the second largest RV show in the country. We just like to go look at all the accessories and new motorhomes, travel trailers, even though we're not really shopping for anything new right now. But it's a fun thing to do. So, if you want to follow us on our escapades to Florida, and if you are a Griswold, member of Clark Griswold's Travel Club, and particularly if you're a member of the KIA Club, which I've still got a membership pending. That's, if you don't know what that is, that's the Know-It-All Club. Kathy's mom and Kathy are the principal officers in that club, and they don't want to let me in quite yet because I'm not a smart ass enough, I guess. But if you want to follow us on our future travels, make sure you're subscribed. And I don't care if you subscribe or not, but if you subscribe, you got to make sure that you're ready to watch some sorry videos by no fart. I don't really care about editing. My only priority is to get these videos out as fast as possible so that the Griswolds can see them and experience our travels when we are doing our travels. So I'd say if you want to subscribe, just be ready for some low quality YouTubes shaky video, shaky jerky video, poor audio with a lot of wind noise. But if you're willing to put up with that, you can at least follow us on our misadventures as we travel to Florida and wherever else we're going in 2022. Kathy's already made reservations for most of 2022, which you have to do in today's times, at least the primary locations. I think she's planning on a West Coast trip again and maybe a couple other trips. We got to go up to Indiana. I think we got that scheduled for February. And then we might be flying out to Arizona, leaving the motorhome at the factory for their 2-year warranty go through. I don't know whether we're going to do that or not, but I know she's planning a big West Coast trip too. And she's already made some reservations on that. So hopefully we're going to have some fun trips. And I got to back this motorhome out, run the power washer over it, go fill it up with diesel and DEF fluid, and we got to go buy some supplies, groceries and all, and get ready for Christmas. And then immediately after that, or pretty close to immediately after that, we're heading off to Florida. I hope y'all all had a very good 2021. And you're gonna have a merry Christmas and an even better 2022. We love all of y'all. Y'all keep following us, and hopefully y'all can experience some of the pleasures of travel like Kathy and I do, vicariously through our videos. And we look forward to seeing y'all as soon as possible. Stay safe and healthy. Don't let the COVID scare get you down, but be safe around people. We certainly don't want anybody coming down with COVID, even though we joke about it a lot. We know that health is one of the most important things to everybody. You got to be healthy to be happy, and you got to be happy to enjoy your friends and relationships and your family. So see you later.